Last fall, when pro staffer Wayne Inger pulled up to the gates of Pennington Creek Hunting Club in southern Oklahoma, he had no idea what was in store for his upcoming crossbow hunt. Having been there a number of times before, meeting up with old friends felt just like coming home.
Good.
Nice to be back here again.
Good.
But he was in a hurry to get started. His first preparation, you guessed it,
Well, after a 20-hour drive about and a lot of bouncing around the truck, you never know if your equipment's on. First thing I want to do is check in my crossbow to make sure that the sights are still on and still performing the way it's supposed to. So I'm going to take a couple of shots here, 20 yards, maybe out to 50, 60 yards of the crossbow, the Excalibur, to make absolutely positive that everything is good to go. I don't want my mess up to be a reason we don't get this done. Perfect at 20. And that is what an Excalibur will do at 50 yards. That was right on the money, so I feel real confident to get out in the field now and do some hog hunting and some deer hunting.
A finely tuned Excalibur crossbow is just a deadly accurate and powerful hunting weapon as you've seen. All sighted in and certain that his is, Wayne eagerly sets out for his first afternoon hunt, and accompanying him in his pockets are tags for a whitetail buck, a doe, and a wild hog.
I can't say enough about coming here to Pennington Creek Hunting Club. This is just an awesome, awesome place to come. Exciting, I'm looking forward to this. If you just want to view wildlife, the opportunities are here. They have tower stands for rifle hunters as well as you can shoot at them with a crossbow very easily. There is ground blinds. There are tree stands for just hang on tree stands and ladder stands for archery hunters. The opportunities are there are immense. When you're on private property like this, you always close the gates behind you when you're done. This is one place that I definitely recommend and would love to come back year after year after year. This is my third trip down here. Look, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I would recommend to anybody who wants to go out and just have a really fun hunt, this is the place to go. Oh, this is going to be a fun night. This is really going to be a fun night. I'm really excited about this opportunity. It's unbelievable how many animals there were. See him watch us? We got the windows down. He knows something's different. We had little bucks. We had does, fawns. Everything was around. Turkeys. How cool is this? Been sitting in the blind for 1 hour, only 1 hour. 2 bucks and a pile of turkeys on the field already. I mean, this is like a hunter's dream come true when you can sit and watch this many animals in a short period of time. I'm in heaven. I'm really in heaven. For the most part, I don't really consider myself a trophy hunter. I'm not after the biggest animal in the world. I don't care if it's got the biggest horns. The hunt is the most important. I have a tendency to pass up a lot of animals during the course of the year just so I get an opportunity to hunt the very last day of the season. So this is, for me, coming here and having an opportunity to hunt deer and pigs in general is great. I'm able to see turkeys and deer and all kinds of critters. And so, I mean, it's just a never-ending, lush environment for wildlife. And just being able to sit in a blind and watch a variety of wildlife go through is rewarding in itself.
Continuing now in Oklahoma, the second morning of Wayne Inger's multi-species crossbow hunt continues with optimism after all the game he saw the night before.
Last night was pretty good. Actually, for the first night here, saw a number of bucks, a couple of decent bucks, but they just are not quite what I'm looking for at this stage of the game. Did see some small bucks, turkeys, and things like that again this morning, but I think it's time to grab the other blind. I'm going to go to a spot that Jason mentioned is pretty good. He's seen a lot of pig tracks and quite a few deer tracks, so I think we're going to try a new spot. Hunting, you just never know what circumstances you're going to run into. You know, you kind of go with the punches, and you go with what the weather conditions and the wind conditions, and you kind of try to adapt to all the circumstances around you. This is a persimmons. Very sweet tasting fruit for the deer. And so I'm going to have to contend with this because they're starting to drop. And that's not the only problem I got. Look at the size of those acorns. There was a storm here just the other night, and these things are starting to drop and are all over the ground. So between the deer eating them and the deer eating ripe persimmons, not too sure that they really want to come over to a green food plot. But if I was a deer, I'd be sitting around here eating these things because these are really, really good. Got a real swirling wind. Sometimes it's going that way, sometimes it's going this way. But I'm in a new location, put up the ground blind in a whole different spot. Got a lot of tracks on the field, a lot of pigs and deer. And the cool thing is, Jason found me a horseshoe. So that's going to be my lucky star tonight. Before this hunt, I have had such unbelievably crappy luck. Nothing seemed to work right. So along comes Jason, and I'm telling him about my bad luck and that I really would like to have found a horseshoe. So what does he do? He goes scrounging around at the ranch and he finds me a horseshoe. And since I got that horseshoe, everything was positive. This one that's on this side is the one I'm going to try to take when I get a chance, if I get a chance. That's a nice standpoint. So 52 yards. I just as soon see him get a little closer though. 43 yards. God, that won't work. I can't get a shot. Yards. God darn it. That shot too far back. Oh, he's hit hard though. He's down. Just off the edge of the field. Thank you, Lord. That was so cool. Nice buck standing there. And I shot that one, and I have no clue. It just, I don't know if I jerked or what I did. If it walked forward, started to tell through the scope. But whatever. It hit too far back. I knew instantly it was not the shot I want. But the deer hunched up. He didn't go 40 yards, and I just saw him tip over, feet up in the air. So I must have got a good shot on the liver. That is so cool. That was just a magnificent experience. Does out here. 3 or 4 bucks, one here, one non-typical, another nice 8-point. God, it was just cool as could be. On the second night, decided to take what I consider to be a real respectable 10-point buck. Tell you what, that's a nice buck. Nothing wrong with it at all. Just a real nice symmetrical 10. The downside was I brushed the shot a little more than I should have, which gave me a really poor shot to the back. But fortunately, it took out an artery and the thing was done in 50 yards. If you have a quick harvest, the animal goes down quickly and doesn't suffer. In the end, it doesn't make any difference. If you're just lucky, you're good. Animals here, I got a buck down, and I'm a happy man.
Okay, now back to Oklahoma, where after taking a nice whitetail buck the night before, Wayne Inger's out again with his crossbow, this time on the hunt for either a nice doe or one of the wild pigs that caused so much damage to the landscape there.
I'm going to do some experimentation. We've got golden estrus from Wildlife Research, and I've got Trails End. We're going to take both of these. We're going to take the Kiewik. We're going to put them in two different locations across the field and see what kind of a response we get from the scents. The second animal I took was a doe, and I wanted to just do that because Jason at the ranch said that they do have a management program. They don't have a problem if you take a few does out, and that was just perfect. 20-yard broadside shot, took out the animal very, very quickly, very humane kill, and that one is going to be just an excellent eating. You know, I really appreciate the fact that I had an opportunity to take a doe here because I really enjoy the flavor of venison. There are so many different ways of making it, and it appears that they have plenty of animals down here. So taking an extra doe out of the herd is not going to be a problem. But for me, it's a nice opportunity to get another animal in on the hunt and also have something to bring home and take care of my desire to eat venison. So this was really nice, and I got to thank Jason for finding me that that horseshoe. If it hadn't been for that horseshoe, I don't know how this weekend would have went. It was at least it's another tool in my arsenal for harvesting deer. Well, this is getting next to the last day of the hunt here at Bennington Creek Hunting Club. There was a huge windstorm the night before we got here, knocked down acorns literally all over the place. I knew it was going to change their habits, and so I'm thinking, well, maybe I should probably get a buck while I get an opportunity. So on the second night I did get a chance for a buck, and I decided to take it. Since then we've seen some bigger ones, but you know, that's the way it goes. Now we're hunting pigs basically, and the hogs on the field we're on right now was just decimated last night. They must have been in here thick. Probably, it's the same field I was on a couple mornings ago and saw maybe 30, 40 hogs came in. Just couldn't get a shot. This morning I went out for another opportunity. Wanted to get myself a nice eater hog. These hogs are so fidgety. They will not stay in one spot for more than a second. For shooting from a ground line with a crossbow, I'm finding it's extremely difficult to stay on. The same bunch that came in a couple of days ago returned. We got a real good shot on that one. I thought at first it was a little far forward, but it looks like the arrow and broadhead hit right back here in the jugular. But as it turned out, it went just in front of the shoulder and came out right through the shoulder on the backside. Shouldn't be a very long trail, but just in case, I'm going to take my blood trailing material along with me and get on the blood. So that was a very short 80-yard, if that, blood trail. Well, that's the kind of blood trail I like. Only one sheet of toilet paper. Got it right in front of me. Fantastic morning. Every day it's been like the same thing. Every day it's been just another wonderful day of seeing a lot of critters. This was a very good morning.
Wouldn't it be great if everyone had endless free access to amazing hunting land of their own? Unfortunately, not everyone does. And that's when outfitters create opportunities. A paid hunt with a qualified outfitter offers so much for the money you pay.
It's unbelievable how many animals there were and every time I went out, there were so many animals. It's like going to a zoo or a nature park. And getting a chance to watch all those animals feed, you get a feel for their natural habits, the fighting.
Well, we just had 6 bucks in here, all different sizes. It almost looked like they let the 5th grade gym class out. A lot of little bucks, but they were sparring and having a good time.
The mature animals taking on the smaller one, they're posturing. Watching things as it really occurs in the natural world when you're not there. There was so much of that it was just really inspiring, and it was just awesome. There are a couple of people I really got to thank for putting this trip together. Greg Ray from NRA Outdoors set the hunt up for me. Travis Singleton from Gray Ranch, he was very instrumental in making sure that we got here. And then I can't exclude Jason Hare, who's the manager here on the ranch, got me out to the places and recommended which spots we hunt. And so it was a nice group effort in order to make all this happen. I would recommend to anybody who wants to go out and just have a really fun hunt, this is the place to go.
So there we have it. The challenging approach to crossbow hunting that so many sportsmen are getting into. One man's adventures at a unique game plush hotspot far away from his Minnesota home, and great success according to his harvest standards. A fine show, Wayne, my friend, and thanks for sharing a vicarious experience with all of us. I'm Babe Winkelman. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, everybody, hey, good hunting.